Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. This is day 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam Yajna, sacrifice to appease Lord Vishnu in order to counteract the demoniac influences in the world today that are overwhelming the world. Talking about incredible fraud, cheating in the financial system, in the healthcare system, in the global economy. Massive, massive fraud and cheating. The Srimad Bhagavatam Yajna, reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam to counteract the negative forces of evil in the world today by the Danava and Daitya class of men. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, text number 14. Chapter is entitled Questions by the Sages. Apanaha samsmritam gauram excuse me. Yannama vivasho grinan tataha sadyo vimucheta yad bibeti swayam bayam. Apanaha samsmritim gauram yannama vivasho grinan tataha sadyo vimucheta yad bibeti swayam bayam. By the way, I should let you know that I'm reading the Sanskrit sloka, which is the original Sanskrit verse, and then I'm reading the Sanskrit English transliteration, and then the literal English translation, and then finally the purport, which is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Apana samsmitim gauram yannama vivisho grinan tataha sadyo vimucheta yad bibeti swayam bayam. Apanaha, being entangled, samsmritim, in the hurdle of birth and death, gauram, too complicated, yet what? Nama, the absolute name, vivashaha, unconsciously, grinan, chanting, tataha, from that, sadhyaha, at once, vimucheta, gets freedom, jat, that which, bibeti, fears, swayam, personally, bayam, fear itself. Translation: living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. Purport: Vasudev, or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything, and as such he is feared by all others. There is no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of the Almighty. Great asuras like Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and others. Technical difficulties. And others who were very powerful living entities were all killed by the personality of Godhead. And the Almighty Vasudev has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything directly related to him is identical with him. It is stated herein that the name of Krishna is feared even by fear personified. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone therefore can take advantage of the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna, even in the midst of the greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from the hurdle of birth and death. Text number 15. Jetpada samsraya sutta munaya prasa mayanaha sadhya punantyupa prista svardun yapo nusevaya yadpada samsraya sutta munaya prasamayanaha sadhya punant upasprista svardun yapo nusevaya yadpada samsraya sutta munaya prasamayanaha sadhya punant upaprista svardun yapo nusevaya. Jet, whose, pada, lotus feet, samshrayaha, those who have taken shelter of, sutta, O Sutta Goswami, munayaha, great sages, pashamayanaha, absorbed in devotion to the Supreme, sadhyaha, once again, punanti, sanctify, upaspritaha, simply by association, svarduni, of the sacred Ganges, apaha, water, anusevaya, bringing into use. Translation. O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. Purport. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganges. One can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of the Ganges river, of the Ganges waters. But one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing can return to Godhead. To take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. The pure devotees, whose only business is serving, are honored by the names Prabhupada and Vishnupad, which indicate such devotees to be representatives of the lotus feet of the Lord. Anyone, therefore, who takes shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as his spiritual master can be at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord, for they deliver out of the material world the fallen souls whom the Lord wants to return home, back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are better known as vice lords according to the revealed scriptures. The sincere disciples of a pure devotee consider him equal with the Lord, but the pure devotee always considers himself to be a humble servant of the Lord. This is the pure devotional path. Text number 16. Ko va bhagavatas tasya punya slokedya karmanaha shudi kamo nashrinu yad yashaha kali malapaham. Ko va bhagavatas tasya punya slokedya karmanaha shudi kamo nashrinu yad yashaha kali malapaham. Ko va bhagavatas tasya punya shlokedya karmanaha shudi kamo nashrinu yad yashaha kali malapaham. Kaha, who, va, rather, bhagavata, of the Lord, tasya, his, punya, virtuous, shloka idya, worshipable by prayers, Karmanaha, deeds. Shuddhi kama, desiring deliverance from all sins. Na, not. Srinuyat, does hear. Jashaha, glories. Kali, of the age of quarrel. Mula apaham, the agent for sanctification. Translation. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Purport. The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self-aggrandizement, and who are freed from the effects of fruitive actions and dry philosophical speculations, are capable of getting out of the estrangements of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of the glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leaders want to completely deny the existence of the Lord. In the name of secular state, which such leaders are enacting various plans every year, but by the insurmountable intricacies of the material nature of the Lord, all these plans for progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But here is the hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify him for his virtuous activities as they are depicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much.